I met Donna during my sophomore year at Eastern State. She wasn't the type you'd notice right away always. Tucked in the back row, pen poised, taking meticulous notes. Eyes fixed on her notebook, as if making eye contact was some kind of expense she couldn't afford. No makeup, simple clothes, and a quiet presence that barely registered unless a professor spoke directly to her. Honestly, I wasn't looking for anything serious back then, and Donna wasn't remotely my type. But one night, everything shifted. We were at a group study session, the room thinning out until it was just the two of us. She lingered to ask a question, and I jumped in with an answer before the TA could even get there. That was our first real conversation, awkward but genuine. A week later, I asked her out. Just coffee, no pressure. She barely spoke the whole time. I did most of the talking. Still, there was something raw and honest about her that felt refreshingly different. No games, no flirtation, just a calm presence I didn't realize I needed. At first, I didn't think this would last. I wasn't in love, just curious. But then Donna started to change. She joined a women's fitness group on campus, experimented with her hair, started wearing jeans that fit her shape instead of hiding in oversized sweats. Guys began to notice her, though she never sought attention. She still wasn't loud or outgoing, but she smiled more real smiles. And when we were alone, she became affectionate in ways that caught me completely off guard. By senior year, we were living together off campus, fallen for her in a way that surprised me. 6 months after graduation, we were married in a small, quiet ceremony with just a handful of close friends. A year later, our son Jason was born. Holding him for the first time, I felt something undeniable. This was real. This was home. We built a steady life. Our first apartment was modest, but clean. I worked in logistics for a supply company, and Donna stayed home with Jason. She was a natural patient, organized, and gentle. Sometimes I caught myself watching her from across the room, amazed at how much she'd grown from the shy girl I met in college. She carried herself differently now, her confidence quiet but undeniable. I trusted her completely, the kind of trust that made you never check phones or ask unnecessary questions. When Jason turned 4, Donna said she wanted to work part-time to feel useful beyond the walls of our home. We found a small local marketing agency looking for admin support. She came home excited, telling me about campaigns and meetings, shrugging off a day with a smile. When I asked how it went, she looked more alive. Her clothes sharpened, hair shorter, and when I complimented her, she'd smile and kiss my cheek. Friends often asked how we stayed so solid, and I always said, "You marry someone who wants peace more than drama." Then one night, she sat beside me on the couch, scrolling her phone. "I'm thinking about applying for a full-time role," she said. "Same office, just more responsibility." I nodded. "Think you can handle the hours?" She met my gaze. Steady, and said, "I need this for me." I didn't push. I wanted her to grow. At first, the changes were subtle. She left earlier, came home later. Jason started after-school programs. I took on more evening chores without complaint. That's what a partner does. But then Donna began pulling away. She stopped eating dinner with us, claiming she was tired or had already eaten at work. She no longer asked about my day. Her answers became brief, distracted. I noticed her laugh more while texting, not with us. One evening, she emerged from the bedroom wearing jeans I didn't recognize and a silk blouse that looked expensive. "Where are you going?" I asked. She checked her lipstick in the mirror. "Just drinks with the girls from the office." Susan's birthday. It was her manager, a woman in her 50s who didn't seem like the party type. "Want me to wait?" "Up," I offered. She smiled, but it wasn't for me. "Don't be silly, Raymond. I'll be late, Raymond." Name she hadn't used in a long time, replaced before by Babe or Han. That night, I checked the calendar on the fridge. No birthday. No reminder, said nothing. When she got home, she went straight to the shower and then to bed. Silent. The next morning, I asked gently if everything was okay. She poured coffee without looking up. "Of course, you've just been a little off. That's all." She gave me a fleeting look, then snapped, "Maybe I'm just tired, Raymond. You think office politics and fixing client disasters is easy?" Her tone cracked like a stretched rubber band. That's when I realized it wasn't just her schedule. Something deeper had shifted. Her eyes held a quiet finality, as if a decision had already been made. A few days later, she mentioned an office party, a formal celebration for a big client win. "Want to come with you?" I asked. She shook her head. "+1s are for senior staff only. It's more of a networking thing." I offered to help with Jason or pick him up.
8.
She had already arranged for Holly, our neighbor, to babysit. The night of the party, she stepped out wearing a black dress, open back heels, flawless makeup. "You look different," I said. Smiled. "It's a formal event, Raymond. Don't look so surprised." Something about it unsettled me. Then a sleek silver sedan pulled up. Instead of Susan or someone from work, a tall, polished man in his mid-40s stepped out. "Marcus," she said casually, "creative director. I'm hitching a ride." I watched her walk away without looking back. That night, Holly came over around 8:30 to watch Jason. I thanked her, gave a quick rundown, and then retreated to my office to finish some work. By 10, I was done. Holly said Jason was easy had. Brushed his teeth, picked a book, and was winding down. She left, and I went upstairs to tuck Jason in. He pulled the covers to his chin and asked if I'd leave the nightlight on. I kissed his forehead and said I'd see him in the morning. Then I went back downstairs. The house felt too quiet. Midnight passed, then 12:30. No sign of her. At 12:45, I called. She answered after a few rings, voice slurred and unsteady. "What, Raymond? Just checking in. It's late. I'm fine. It's a party. I'll be home soon." Then she hung up. Around 2 a.m. I called again. This time her voice was drunk, words loose and stumbling. "God, stop calling me all the time," she snapped. "You're always checking up on me. Just wanted to make sure you're okay." "I'm fine." She dragged the word out. "I'll be home in a few." Then she hung up again. She came home at 3:30 a.m., lipstick faded, heels in hand, perfume too strong like she'd reapplied it twice. She was drunk, but barely trying to hide it. "How was the party?" I asked, voice flat. "Ah!" She smiled, as if she didn't hear the tone. "Exhausting." Then she disappeared down the hall, without waiting for a response. That night, I knew something was broken. The next morning, the sound of running water woke me. Donna was already in the shower. Her black dress from the night before hung on the back of a chair, still smelling faintly of Colin Wan I didn't wear. I said nothing. That week I installed a tiny camera hidden discreetly in the light fixture above our front door. I did it while she was out running errands with Jason, never mentioning a word. The feed streamed live to my phone. 3 nights later, I had my answer. It was a Monday. Jason had a sleepover at his friend Ethan's. Donna helped pack his bag. That morning, nothing unusual. I told her I had to work late. She barely reacted. Thinking the house would be empty, she was wrong. At 5:42 p.m., Marcus pulled into our driveway in the same silver sedan. She opened the door before he even rang the bell. No surprise on her face, only readiness. He stepped inside. She closed the door behind him. 7:18, they stepped out again. Her hair was a mess, blouse unbuttoned, heels in hand once more. He kissed her cheek. They laughed at something private. Then he drove off. I didn't feel rage, not the burning, shouting kind. It was colder than that. Quiet. When she walked into the kitchen the next morning, I looked at her like a stranger. "Who'd broken into my house?" "Did you sleep okay?" she asked. "Didn't lose a minute," I said. That week, I lined up every piece of the puzzle bank statements, photos from the camera, everything. I found a lawyer, started the paperwork, made copies. I didn't tell her, not yet. Saturday morning came. Jason was at Holly's for a play date. The house was quiet.
No.
Donna sat at the dining table with her laptop open. I walked in and placed a USB drive in front of her. She looked at it, then at me. "What's this?" "Press play." She hesitated, then slid the USB into the port. The screen flickered to life, showing footage from our front door. Date and time stamped. Monday, 5:42 p.m. She didn't speak. When the video ended, I reached forward and shut the laptop. "I want a divorce," I said, voice steady.